Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mahana and here we talk about all things related to stationery, planners, productivity, organization and in general living your best life. And if that interests you, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Today we are going to talk about journaling, and you can find a lot of resources online about it, and they will all tell you that journaling is really good for your mental health. Now, I have been practicing journaling for a few months. Actually, it's been about a year. And even though I don't do it every day, I have tried to maintain a pretty regular schedule and I have seen a lot of benefits from it. We live such busy lives and we are constantly running from one point to another that journaling actually helps us slow down and take stock of what we are feeling and why we are feeling a certain way. And it really helps us understand ourselves better, and it helps us react in a better way to the situations that we face daily. At least that's what I have observed in my own life, and that's why I feel like journaling is a practice that everyone should adapt, and it's not something that is very complicated or needs to be super artistic or needs a lot of time. It just needs some amount of patience and like a consistent habit in order for you to see results from it. So today I will tell you 10 kinds of journaling that you can try and you can get started on to see actual benefits from it. The first kind of journaling that you should definitely try is called morning pages, and it's basically a stream of consciousness kind of journaling, and it was popularized for the first time in Julia Cameron's book The Artist's Way. It is very simple. It's basically you have to write down 3 pages every morning as soon as you wake up. That's like one of the first things that you do, and it will be a very haphazard, maybe broken paragraphs, broken phrases. It does not have to make sense. Nobody else apart from you needs to read it, and it's just something, it's like a brain dump, so it gets all of your thoughts, and it's great to do it in the beginning of the day, because then your thoughts, even though they're not fully formed, it's basically everything that is taking up space in your mind, and you can put it down on paper, and then you can get started with the day absolutely in a fresh way, and after not having a lot of thoughts clogged up in your mind even before you begin the day. So that's a really interesting practice to get started on. It does dictate 3 pages, but then you can obviously take a smaller journal if you feel intimidated by the thought of filling 3 pages as soon as you wake up. But it's something that you should definitely try. Next is bullet journaling, which is my personal favorite. Ryder Carroll had started this as a way to combat his ADHD, and it can be many, it can combine many journaling goals into one. So it can be your daily diary, it can be your task manager, it can help you keep track of bucket lists or like reading lists, your expenses. It serves whatever purpose that you intend for it to serve, and it can be as simple and as complicated as you want it to be. If you look at inspiration for bullet journaling on Pinterest and Instagram, you might get a little intimidated, so I'll suggest that you actually start off really simply and see what works for you. I have a few bullet journal setup videos which are super simple and very easy to follow along, so maybe you should give that a try. The next kind of journals are called travel journals. Now, obviously, these are very specifically for people who travel a lot. And even if you don't travel a lot, I don't travel a lot, but I have a particular journal that I carry when I'm traveling. And here, it's not very artistic, but I note down all the places that I've seen. And basically, it's like also I keep track of how much money I've spent on the trips, and I stick my tickets and other like if I go to a park or if I go to a museum, I save the ticket stubs from there. So that's like my memory journal for all of my travels. So it's something similar you can try if you are someone who goes on trips frequently. It's a very nice way to capture all of the memories from the trips. The next one is gratitude journaling. Now, research shows that if you have a daily gratitude practice, you are significantly happier and calmer like throughout the day. So gratitude journaling has become more popular in the recent past, but it is basically as simple as feeling grateful and giving thanks to the small things in life and having at least 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for every day. And this practice actually builds up a genuine feeling of contentment within you, because if you are writing down 3 to 5 things every single day that you're grateful for, you kind of really internalize how lucky you are. And even though the day-to-day struggles of our normal life doesn't let us feel like okay, you have everything, but if you take a step back and actually genuinely feel thankful for the things that you do have, you will realize that you have more than you need, probably. Most of us do. So that's like a good practice to develop. And there are a lot of very interesting gratitude journals that a lot of these stationery brands come up with. My personal favorite is the Odd Giraffe one, and I'll put the link down below. I think that's a really nice way, and it will probably take you like 5 minutes to fill a page, and it's a really great way to get started. Next up, we have art journaling. Now, art journaling is amazing for people who are creative, and it is also great for people who love stationery. So I am both, so I love art journaling. We can basically, what we do for art journaling is take a sketchbook or just a plain book and get a lot of materials. So it can be scraps of paper, it can be ticket stubs, delivery packaging material, you know, you can imagine whatever you want to, and washi tapes and paints and everything, and just try to create a spread. And you can basically go wild, go crazy with your imagination, and that kind of journaling really lets free your creativity, and it doesn't have to bind you to the idea that, okay, I'm trying to make this image, or I'm trying to draw this building or this person. It doesn't confine you to anything. You have so many materials, you can create any kind of spread that you want to create, and it's a very freeing exercise. And also, I mean, these journals are obviously just for you, so no one's going to see it. There's no added pressure of having to put it out into the world and getting everybody else's feedback or judgment on it. So just like, you can totally go free on the pages of a art journal, and I really recommend you try it if you haven't yet. This next one is a great one for all the bookworms out there. Now, I don't read as many books as I would like to, but I think a reading journal is something that you can maintain even if you don't read a lot, but you would like to remember things from the books that you've read. Now, I read a lot of non-fiction, and I would definitely like it if I can keep all of the important lessons that I've learned from these books in one place, and just like important like quotes from the books or something, some key ideas that I have liked. So I would like to keep it in one place. Now, if you have a Kindle, you probably highlight and like put it in a digital sort of a library for it. But for those of us who really like pen and paper, I think a reading journal is a really nice way of just like commemorating all of the things that we've read and the key takeaways from. Even if you are reading fiction, maybe like a particular storyline or plot, or maybe some character you found really interesting. A friend of mine used to just write down all of the dressing sense of some of the characters that she really likes, and she tried to like emulate that. So that is a very interesting idea. You can try it as well. So yeah, I think for anybody who likes to read, a reading journal would be a very nice place to just jot down your thoughts about everything that you've read. For all of us young adults out there, I think a fitness journal is another very, very important thing that we should keep. Now, it doesn't have to obviously be separated from your regular daily planner or whatever, but I feel like I've just started a fitness journal for this year, and it is going to be a dedicated space to keep track of my fitness journey, the steps I take, how much water I drink, what exercises I'm doing every day. And then I can also like keep a weekly tab on my weight and measurements, so that I can see how my body is changing and how it is reacting to certain kinds of exercises. And if you are, you know, interested in that sort of thing, I think you should definitely keep a dedicated journal for it, and it will basically just give you a better idea of seeing what works and what doesn't work for you. And I think yeah, just like keeping track of these things helps you measure and maintain yourself a lot better. So definitely fitness journal is something that you can look into. I'll link the one that I am using for this year down in the description below. So if you do use it, let me know how you like it. Another very important journal for all young adults out there is definitely having a finance journal to keep track of all of your bill payments, how much you spent on groceries, how much you spent on eating out, how much you paid in credit cards, and you know, all of that. And of course, this can also be documented in your regular planner, but definitely having a dedicated journal, diary, etc. for it lets you focus on that particular aspect of your life at that particular time that you need it. And I think that's a really nice way of focusing on different areas of your life. So definitely a finance journal, you can give it a try, and I will link the one that I use down in the description below. So if you use it, let me know. These next two journals are a little bit questionable. Like, you will think that, you know, I can do this in any notebook. Do I really need a dedicated journal for it? But I'll tell you why. So the first of these two is the Commonplace Journal. Now, Commonplace Journal is basically a notebook for everything. Now, I am someone who is obsessively taking notes no matter what I'm watching. So I am always watching random things on YouTube, and if something sparks my interest, I will definitely write it down. So I kind of have like a random notebook lying by my bedside, and every time I find something interesting, if I'm reading a book, I find a quote interesting, if I'm watching a YouTube video, I find something cool, I just write it down. So that's like a Commonplace notebook. And the purpose of having a Commonplace notebook is that you can't carry all of your journals everywhere. So a Commonplace notebook just exists so that you can put in whatever you're thinking in that moment in that notebook, but then you will have to move it to the designated journal at some point in time. So that's the first one, that's Commonplace notebook, and you can literally pick up any notebook for it. And I use this doodle diary for it, and it's really, it's really convenient to have something by your side at that exact moment that you need it. So you should definitely give that one a try. The final journal in the list is a dream journal. Now, obviously, we know that in dreams, we basically process what has happened to us in our daily life, right? So if you do have vivid dreams, and I don't, but I know this is very helpful for a lot of people, that if you do have very vivid dreams and you say wake up in the middle of the night, it's best that you keep a notebook by the side of your bed and actually write down what happened in the dream. Because when you're again like fully awake and alert, you can try to figure this out. And if those of you who see therapists, they can tell you that you can actually figure this out, and that will tell you a lot about why you are behaving the way that you're behaving. But even those of us who don't, there are books written to no end about what dreams mean and what it means when you see X or Y in your dream, and like seeing water means something, seeing clouds means something else, etc. So if you have really vivid dreams, I would definitely suggest that you keep a dream journal, and then it will be very, very interesting to see how your mind works, and you can actually understand why you are thinking the way that you're thinking, and I think that's super interesting. So that was the video, guys. These were the 10 kinds of journals that I really urge you to try, and I hope this benefits you as much as it benefited me. And I hope that you can actually try to establish a regular journaling practice. And if you need any tips about, establishing a journaling practice, then please let me know in the comments down below. I'll definitely make a video about that. And I hope this helped. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.